What's going on, Team MG? It's Michael Gascon, the Horse Guru, and today we are going to be talking about push obstacles, the do's and the don'ts. Today, to use us, we got a little hot Paso filly named Miss America. She's going to be helping us out. Notice we have a natural horsemanship halter. Anytime that I ask my students or my staff to, hey, let's do obstacles, let's play soccer, let's sort cow, anything that has to do with something like an obstacle, put in water, I want the horses to have something a tool that allows them to go left, right. So natural horsemanship halter, a snaffle or a snaffle with shanks. No solid bridles, no contraptions, something that you can just get their face and their butt. Step number one to doing a push obstacle, grab the front of the pommel and scoot yourself forward until it looks provocative, and then you're gonna roll back on your butt like this, like you're a cutting rider. I wanna be sitting on my bum, on my tailbone like this. Naturally, that pushes my heels forward. Automatically, we've cleared up our mind. The next thing, I want to make sure I have a good set of long reins. The reason you want long reins is when you're doing push obstacles, especially with horses that you need to get them over push obstacles that are a little sketchy, you want to be able to simply grab one rein and release the other. If your reins are 4 foot long, like a little barrel racer reins, you're not going to be able to drop the other side of the reins. You want to be able to grab one rein, release the other. So we're going to be pretty good about sliding our hand down here. So I'm making sure I can grab her butt, slide my hand down, grab her butt, like so. Now on the approach, we have a set of cowboy curtains out here. As we approach, I'm not gonna grab up more reins. I'm gonna sit back and give her a loose rein. If she says no, I'm gonna pressure her. Well, if I pressure her when she's on a loose rein and she goes left, I'm gonna pull right. If she pulls right, I'm gonna pull left. So I point her towards what I want. Sit back. If she surges like that, I'm going to grab her and roll her back. Grab her and roll her back. Notice since I'm sitting back, it's not a big deal for me. And instead of me trying to slow her down and hold her straight back, I have to see if she's committed to going through first. Notice every time I face the thing that's giving her energy, which is the cowboy curtains, it slows her down. Well, very quickly, she can't refuse, she can't buck, she can't rear, because there's nobody to fight with, because I'm only grabbing one rein at a time. So now I have her. And a lot of folks have this where they have a hotter horse. Every time she passes it, I just slide her back in towards it. This way we keep that momentum. She doesn't get that energy all balled up. Now we can start weaving through it. A lot of folks, what will happen is they will pull back before the horse committed to it, and the horse said, did you say stop? And horses are like husbands, they have selective hearing. So they said, oh, did you say stop? When they do that, you say, okay, you said stop, I won't go. But now you're kicking 2 seconds later and you said go. Usually people will walk up to water, the horse will put its head down like it's gonna smell the water, investigate. You immediately grab them in the face because they put their head down like they're gonna jump. Well, now they can't go forward because you say, oh, nope, that's acid water. They can't go backwards because you're kicking. And they can't go left or right because you have a tight rein. Because the balloon can only hold so much air, then it's gonna pop, okay? Well, since we have that figured out now, instead of doing that, we let all of her energy, we let it out by redirecting and redirecting and redirecting. Once I'm sure that she's willing to pass through it, so we've kind of slowed her down a little bit, redirected her, even if she hops over the water or the creek, hopping in a straight line, the odds of you riding that are significantly higher than if she's a squirrel. You know, many an indecisive squirrel lay flat on the road. If you don't know where the horse is going to go, it's very difficult to hold on to that, even as a professional. So I want that horse to go wherever I point it. If it goes too fast, the second we get to the other side of the water, I'm going to roll her back and face her up. Well, every time that I do that, she's going to be more worried about me disengaging her and facing her back up, more and more and more so than the fear she has of the soccer ball, of the water, of the tunnel, of the scary thing, of the dark place. So she's going to start slowing up. Once I'm 100% sure that she'll go over something, then and only then can we start saying, okay, now I'm going to start slowing you back because I know you'll go. Where most people get in trouble is they start holding the horse back before the horse is even committed to going, before they know the horse will go, and now the horse gets mixed signals, and that lack of clarity, it builds a bomb basically. You're holding back so they'll go slow, but then you're pushing forward whenever they say no. It has to be one or the other until you're sure. Now that this filly has gone through there 20 times, now I can say, hey, can you go through slow? Thank you. And if she was going to be a competitive horse, I would get her going through slow like that. And then not only would I get her going through slow, I would start telling her, hey, go through slow and go through with your head down. Keep the same head set as we go through an obstacle. And that's how you make a competitive obstacle horse. And the same way we just went through those cowboy curtains is how we would do every obstacle on the obstacle course. We would make sure she was willing to go over it first, no matter what. And then from there, we would start slowing her down. And then from there, we would start saying, hey, I want your head set to look like this. Because in the obstacle challenge, if they have their head down and they're on the loose reins, you get extra points. So we can train that. But the biggest don't is don't slow them down and don't try to fix their head before they're willing to go through. That's the biggest mistake that people make. The don'ts in push obstacles is don't sit forward and don't grab too much reins. If that would fix horses, I wouldn't have a job. You need to sit back on your bum, leave your heels down in front of you, and everything is going to be left or right, face and butt. That's all you need. So that's why you can use a natural horsemanship halter or a snaffle with shank, something that is built for left and right, and that's all you need. We do this very, very early on in our colt starting process, and it makes it real easy. And then when we have horses that refuse people, we come back and we do this exact same work with a horse that's 10 or 15 years old, is petrified of everything, and there's just no way for them to refuse, because if they refuse to go through there, all they're going to do is a bunch of left and right turns with no mental release until they go through. When they go through, they're going to get a huge mental release. It's going to make it very easy for them. And those are the do's and don'ts of a push obstacle. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.